1, 2, 3.
Coming to you from the Indian Media Production Studios. It's Three Dogs and a Dude. Hey everybody, Tobin Acevedo, your host for Three Dogs and a Dude, coming at you with our very first airing, episode 1. Got something special for you, a real treat. We have Call of Duty Rex here in the middle, and his handler Jammer, some special guests that I think you guys are going to really enjoy their story and learn a little bit more about them, and we'll get right into that here now. And Jammer, welcome. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having us out.
Rexy, we appreciate you coming on, keeping us in line here. We know who the boss really is here.
Yeah, he's calling all the shots.
He calls all the shots. You just the driver and the feeder. And
you know, it's funny. Everywhere we go, you know, people are now starting to recognize him, and attention goes 100% directly to him. And you know,
your chopped liver right behind him.
100%. I know my role. I just, you know, I'm his driver, his chauffeur, his cook. You know.
Does he ever have to, you know, tell you to get back in your lane? And
I know my role. I just stay in it, you know.
Well, you've got a pretty distinguished background as well. I know from firsthand knowledge that you have served our great country and spent some time in the Marine Corps fighting for our rights, and really appreciate your service and all that. But I know you've got, you know, probably some fun stories that we can get into. We could probably talk for hours on just that.
Yeah. I don't know if you have enough whiskey.
Well, try me. Yeah. Try me. I see a new sponsor coming up.
Right.
I see a sponsor coming up. So yeah, you know, we appreciate all that you do. And I know you've got some interesting background that's kind of led you into in some of your other ventures from some connections you've made through all that. And maybe just tell our listeners a little bit about, you know, some of the different ventures that you have going these days, and maybe some of the projects you've done over the last couple of years and how that kind of evolved.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll start with, you know, the background you touched on. I did 4.5 years in the Marine Corps. I was in the reconnaissance community the whole time once I finished all my training and stuff like that. And honestly, I mean, that's, it opened so many doors for me to what I'm doing today. I mean, nothing that, you know, I'm doing today would have probably happened if it wasn't for that, you know, that split-second decision to join the Marine Corps on a whim. So, yeah, so I did 4.5 years as a reconnaissance Marine. Started out 2 years over in Okinawa at 3rd Recon Battalion, finished up at 1st Recon Battalion at Camp Pendleton, and did a little bit of time over in Iraq just right after the war kicked off. So great times, some of the best and worst memories, you know, of my life for sure. So now, you know, I've got a good circle of buddies still from the Marine Corps that's kind of opened the door for some of the projects that we're working on now.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of started, that was kind of in the pre-Rex era that all that kind of kicked off and started, wasn't it? I know you were doing some tactical gear and did some photos.
Oh, yeah.
Even a comic, I think. You were in a comic, weren't you?
Yeah, so we started out, I started out doing stuff probably, God, it's been like 9 years ago, started out with Patriot Ordnance Factory doing this Patriot picture, and I still remember where I was in the backyard scooping dog shit, and I got the call from my friend Jason at the time. That was he's just running a company doing photography and stuff out of Chandler, and he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, I got this guy that," he goes, "I already know your answer, but I told him, I promised him that I'd at least ask you." He goes, "I got this guy that wants you to pose for a photo dressed as a patriot and holding his company's rifle." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, that's not really my jam." So, but then he's like, "Yeah, and he's gonna pay you for it, and he's also going to, you know, he's probably gonna throw you a rifle or two." Well, at the time, I didn't have any of my own rifles or anything, so I was like, "Hey, free rifles, some pay." I'm like, "Do I bring the flag? Do I get the outfit? Or, you know, like, hey, let's do this." So that kind of launched me into that workspace. And now, fast forward, what, 8, 9 years now, I've been working with some other really close buddies of mine that are recon Marines with a company called TAC Gas.
Mhm.
And I know you're familiar with it, but for your listeners and watchers, if they're not, TAC Gas shoots a lot of the tactical stuff in the realm of firearms, tactical gear, and stuff like that. And then now we shoot a ton of content for Call of Duty, which is TAC Gas is probably TAC Gas's top client. So
Okay. Okay. Nice. So yeah, that kind of brings us up to speed a little bit. Now we can get to the star of the show here. So tell us a little bit more about Rex and how did Rex become part of your family as he falls into my lap here.
Right. Yeah, he's a real killer. Yeah, so Rex, we let's see, I adopted him about 2.5 years ago from a dog shelter. It's called the Pima Animal Care Center in Tucson, Arizona. And I actually went in there looking for a German Shepherd. And the one that I went in there for had been adopted. So as I was on my way out, the lady said, there's another German Shepherd that somebody's surrendering. And
So they thought Rex was a German Shepherd?
yeah, he's still a little bit bitter about that. But
It's okay, Rex.
yeah, so I went over there and here's this Belgian Malinois, and everybody I knew from the teams that I'd worked with that they said you don't want a Belgian Malinois as a pet and everything. And I really, I was kind of hesitant, but then I thought, I was like, man, if I don't take this dog and the dog ends up in a family that has no idea about these working breeds and how to train them, how to deal with them and the requirements and stuff like that to keep them kind of stable, he's going to end up nipping a little kid or something like that, just playing rough like they do. And he's going to wind up back here, and probably euthanized or something like that. So I just made a commitment to him that day to adopt him and just seek out, proper training and stick with it. And it's kind of evolved from there. So he's a lot of stuff is just kind of fallen in the right place at the right time and everything for us. But now, he's the star of the show everywhere we go. So,
I mean, he's a rescue. Rescues are phenomenal. I mean, the 3 dogs that are 3 dogs and a dude, those guys are all rescues. And
yeah.
you guys see Rex moving around right now. Here's the 3 dogs a little outside the studio making a ruckus. And I think they have his ears attention, but you can see how well he's holding ground and handing out kisses frequently here. So, but yeah, so I mean, from rescue to the spotlight. And it's amazing, what they're capable of, and they can come from the worst situations. But I tell you what, I can speak for Pepper and Bella and the horrible situations that they came from, and they're living their best life now 2 years later. And
Yeah.
I mean, you just met Pepper,
Yeah.
and she's
You got some great dogs up there. You got a great pack.
she's got character for days.
Yeah.
She's got enough character for the whole pack. So what are some of the projects that you and Rex have been up to lately?
Okay. So over the last year, we've shot content for Call of Duty, Black Rifle Coffee. We've done a ton of stuff. He's one of the 3 Black Rifle Coffee sponsored dogs. So we shoot a ton of content, do a lot of guest appearances or whatever for them, which is they've been great for us. They've done a lot for us and a lot of the veterans that I know. And then probably our biggest thing that we've done this year was we just wrapped up filming a TV series with Chris Pratt out in Hollywood, which should be launching. I'm hearing January time frame. It'll be on Amazon. So this guy's got a pretty cool role in it and everything. So that was quite the experience. It was our first time out in Hollywood, and I'm a small town Kansas kid, and this just a small town Kansas kid with a pound pup showing up in Hollywood. So it was pretty wild.
That's pretty cool. So I heard a rumor that Rex even had his own stunt double on set.
He had three. He had three other dogs that worked with us, and one of them, which actually two of them, Tico and Monkey, they're like huge YouTube. Monkey especially, huge YouTube sensation. I mean, the dog is phenomenal, and his trainer Omar is just that guy's a ninja when it comes to training dogs. I mean, he next far, far, far above us. That his dog rides scooters, does performs CPR on him, and does handstand walks and all kinds of stuff. So everybody's anybody that looks at dogs online has seen them. They do the obstacle courses and stuff. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about, I mean, not many people definitely, I know I haven't. What's the day in the life on the set of a TV series or a movie set like when you're working, so you're being very humble. I hear you had a role in that show as well.
Yeah, it was a small part, but yeah, the so for us, I mean, it was really we went in there, we didn't know, we had no idea what to expect at all. Day one, we had no clue, and a huge shout out to Justin Melnick and Dita from SEAL Team. He kind of got us the connection there. They hit him up, and that's how we got on that. So appreciate that, brother. He's always been there to hook us up and stuff. So, but yeah, going back to the question, as far as like a day out there, I mean, we were out there for a couple weeks, and on and off, and it's on days that we filmed. We'd film almost everything at night. There's parts that we had were mostly filmed at night because they can control the light settings and stuff like that. So we shot, I want to say three or four different sets. We shot there at Paramount Studios. Excuse me. And that was, man, those guys that build the sets are phenomenal. The stuff that they put together, it's like you just feel like you've been time warped into the attention to detail and stuff is just insane. So it wasn't hard for us to get into role because you actually felt like you were in the environment. So so we shot there at Paramount, and then a couple other places, a beach scene, and then another setting. But um, you show up in the afternoon. We'd go to wardrobe, get all of our issued wardrobe items. Then we had a little trailer, and we'd go to our trailer, get dressed out. Of course, Rex, he had to put on his kit and everything, get all dressed out, and then we'd go over to hair and makeup. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff to, they can only do so much to this face. So. But they always loved, it was always, they always loved seeing Rex. So I'd always take Rex over there, and then, they were just, get him up in the chair, act like they were doing makeup on him and stuff. They loved him. So
Rex the Diva.
yeah. And then we'd head over, grab a little bite to eat. They had several different food trucks and food vendors and stuff there for us. And then you'd hit the set, and there's a lot of, there's downtime and stuff, but honestly, just being on set with all those guys, and it was an awesome cast and crew. A lot of the guys are they're former Navy SEALs, and there's some pretty extensive resumes with the guys that are on that set. So it was great just being around them. And it was like almost like an instant team vibe within those guys. So it was really cool. And of course, there's Patrick Schwarzenegger was another that was on set. So
Pretty good names.
yeah.
So when Rexy texts or calls, does Chris Pratt pick up the phone?
Yeah, he hasn't hit up. He doesn't spam Chris Pratt too much, but Chris was super cool, man. I mean, I'd heard that he was really cool and stuff going into it, but guy's super humble. I mean, he's an A-list actor, man, and just super cool and come out and just sit down and BS with the guys and stuff like that. And actually really, he was very, It was very important. You could tell it was very important to him that he portrayed everything accurate, and up to the standard of, like an actual Navy SEAL. Like he wanted it to be precise. He wanted to do it justice and stuff like that. So that, I respected him for that. It was super cool. So
That's awesome. It's kind of cool to hear that background of an A-list actor, and you guys have been up close and personal and see that, but to see how serious and how dedicated they are to making sure that they have just those minute details, but more importantly, that he's a good dude. I mean,
yeah, it is. The one thing that is pretty cool that, the first night that we were on set, we were out there on I guess I can say we were out there on a beach scene, and it's, I mean, the amount of people that go into creating this, I didn't know what to expect. But I mean, there's semis just full of equipment, and there's an assistant for this, an assistant to an assistant for this, and everything. And I mean, we had just the two of us. We had three, I think, like two or three other people to just help us.
wow.
But there, there's like 150, I don't know, maybe 200 people out there just for this set. And the first night out there filming for us, um, is they just killed all the lights, and then all of a sudden all the lights come on and they light up the beach like it's almost daylight, and then they start blaring some metal music, and it sounded just like a live concert. It was so freaking cool. And then Antoine Fuqua comes out and he starts, getting everybody pumped up, and it just really set the tone. And I was like, all right, this is going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome. What a great experience. Rexy, appreciate you dragging Jammer along for that ride. We know you're the star. We know. He's taking in every word I'm telling him right now. That or he's sizing me up. I'm not sure which. I think he could take me. So Rex does some pretty cool things. He's got, obviously, he's got his own Instagram handle that if you're not following it, I highly encourage you to go check out Call of Duty Rex. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel, his handle will be on the screen right now as he's giving me another bath. But go check it out. There's some awesome content. How do you train Rex to do all the cool different things that he does? I mean, he is an extension of you. When I watch you and him together, I mean, he's literally like your right arm.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's honestly, I've got a good buddy back in Phoenix that he was a canine trainer and former canine trainer, and then he just kind of introduced me into some training techniques, and he showed me some basics and stuff like that, and then I just kind of spun that into some of the stuff that you see on our pages and stuff, just incorporating that, and just it's really only I mean, he's only limited by my imagination. I mean, was what I've found. I mean, everything I've asked him to do or kind of worked with him to do, he's accomplished it. So I'm his biggest limiting factor, and it's just opening that line of communication and stuff like that. Because these dogs want to work. They have to work, and for him, he wants to please me and stuff like that. And you can really tell when we're out there doing something new and challenging, that you can just see that in his behavior, that he's just wanting to accomplish it. And it's really cool to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell that he's wrapped up on point, really the focus and concentration, but the trust he's got that you're not going to put him in a situation that could hurt him or anything like that. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that trust and that bond. And I mean, clearly, and how long have you had him now? 3 years?
Yeah, we're going on 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, how often do you guys work on this? How often do you train your dog? I mean, I've got the three dogs upstairs, and I work with them on occasion, and I think they're pretty well trained. And then I see Rex come rolling through, and it's like a whole different level. He's the A-list. Let's just say that.
For us, I mean, and that's when we do like Q&As on our platforms, that's one of the most common questions we get is, how often do you do this training? And honestly, it's with these guys, to keep them at a good or above average level. It's a daily deal, and when people think training, it's not necessarily a session of going out and doing, hey, sit, stay, all that stuff. I mean, every single thing that we do every day I incorporate training, and it might be just exposing them to something new. and making them, working them towards getting comfortable with that, or basic obedience. Or if, hey, if we're just going out for a jog, we never do like just a mindless, hey, we're going out for a 3 mile jog. I'm working obedience and stuff like that, and behaviors along that way. Because these dogs, they not only need like the physical exercise, but even more importantly is the mental stimulation, mental exercise. So, if you don't sit there, if you don't work their mind, you have some people that go out and they're like, man, I ran this dog 3 miles a day and he's still a maniac. Well, what did you do to stimulate, to exhaust them mentally? And, I didn't know about this until I got with this trainer and he explained it and it made perfect sense. But if you're not working their minds, you're just making them more capable, uh, maniac, So imagine a prize fighter or something like that, and you just put him on treadmill, put him in a treadmill and keep him in a gym, and then
Think early Mike Tyson, maybe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Yeah, the mental stimulation and challenge. You can tell it's working whatever you're doing with him. So, all right. So, can you believe 2021? I mean, we've got a week to go. 2022 around the corner. So, what's next on the horizon for you and Rex?
And so, yeah, 2021 was a huge. It's going to be tough to for us to beat that. So, you know, uh, we were blessed with the Hollywood gig and stuff like that. So 2022 is going to be tough, but some of the things that we have just coming right out of the gate, of course, we have SHOT Show coming up here in a few weeks. We'll be out there in Vegas for that and seeing all of our sponsors and stuff like that. The We'll continue to shoot stuff with Call of Duty, I'm sure, and then Terminal Lists will be released, so then we can kind of dive into that a little bit more. And then just recently, we were at an event a couple weeks ago for Dillon Firearms. They were launching a new trigger, and we went out there, did some awesome stuff, shooting out of, I think you probably saw that, shooting out of the helos and shooting miniguns and all kinds of cool stuff. But I met one of the just awesome Red Bull skydivers that I've followed for a long time. And turns out he skydives like 5 miles from my house on a regular basis. So,
Small world.
yeah. So instantly, that's one thing that Rex and I have been wanting to do. Well,
Rex, are you sure? Are you letting him put words in your mouth, buddy?
Yeah. So I'm speaking for both of us on this, but we've been wanting to check that box and go and do a little free fall. So that's going to be kind of our big thing for 2022. Our big goal is to get Rex and myself and jump out of a perfectly good airplane. So, and what better people to get with than a Red Bull. So.
Rex, I'm going to do a full report on how Jammer handles that. Can you put an audio recorder on so we can hear maybe some of the things he says on the way out of the plane, Rex?
I'm sure there'll be plenty of footage of that.
That'll be fantastic. So I can't not ask, because I've seen him in a couple of your clips on Rex's channel on Instagram. His brother Hank. I think he's got an affectionate name coined to him now.
That's effing Hank.
Effing Hank. So is Effing Hank wanting to follow in Rex's footsteps, do you think? Or what's going to happen there?
That was kind of the initial thing that I was going for there, was trying to get Effing Hank to do some of the stuff. But his let's just say he's a character. He's a completely different dog. Which it's not a bad thing. He's freaking hilarious. I mean, you've seen a couple of his things, but you can see he's a German Shepherd. He's also a rescue from pack, and he'll try to replicate some of the stuff that Rex does, but he does it 100% wrong. So everything you'll have, for example, Rex will, I'll have him go jump up onto like like a box or something like that. And he does it pretty much, 100% of the time. And effing Hank will just go storming up there, 100% out of control, jumps sideways, land on it, and then like fall over backwards off of it. And same thing. He falls out of bed. He runs his head into sliding glass doors. It's just every single day. He's doing something wrong. So, but it's comical.
Rex, what do you think about all this? Nothing.
Yeah.
You got nothing. That says it all. That look says it all. I don't know if you could see it behind the laptop, but he just kind of stared off in his face, kind of shaking his head. So, all right. So, well, we'll hope to keep seeing F and Hank, at least in some cameo roles. Rex, will you share a little bit of spotlight with your brother?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be squeezing him in from time to time.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about how can our listeners find and follow you and Rex on social media, and with some of the awesome causes that you guys support. And I love that you guys do a lot for charities and a lot to raise awareness. And how can my listeners follow you on some of that?
Yeah. So for us, you can follow us. We're on Instagram and TikTok are two major platforms. And you can follow Rex it's just Call of Duty Rex, and you've got an underscore under each word. So it's call_of_duty_Rex. And that's on both platforms. And then myself, it's Jammer_actual. And I'm only on Instagram. But the main following is this guy. That's my primary focus. So, but that's kind of, that's our platform and our following. That's our major push is to. I mean, we stumbled into all this. It's all just been given to us. We've worked hard for it, but it's been all of our listeners. It's been us going out and interacting with people and a lot of stuff. We've been blessed with a lot of good opportunities. So we like to pay that forward and use our platform to help, obviously, rescue dogs. We work with the Pack, work with a couple other, the Poso Dog Rescue, Rescue 22, and there's a couple of others as well that we work with. So we're constantly, anytime we can do something to help dogs or rescue dogs or something like that, we're all over it. Another thing we're big on is helping kids. Kids in last year we helped a little gymnast that had been tragically burned, and we helped raise some money to offset some medical costs and stuff with her. So that's our biggest thing, is using that platform to help just positive stuff. So so follow us. The more followers we get, obviously, the more we can do, and the more we can pay it forward.
That's fantastic. So in closing here, you mentioned a little bit about the fact that you guys are working, have done work with Call of Duty, and that's one of TACGAS's biggest clients. Let everybody know here, Rexy, what was your role in Call of Duty?
He's speechless. No,
he's not sure he can talk about it.
Yeah, no, you'll see him like on the entry screens. I think the bundle that he was launched with was Rose. So you'll see him like on the entry screens and stuff like that. And then he has this little finishing move where he likes to rip people's throats out. So we'll demo that here later.
I'm gonna get a volunteer from the studio audience for that. And then I've got a little guy back here that.
Here we go.
Rexy, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? So Jammer, I believe that looks a lot like you.
Yeah, that's with the mask,
with the mask?
Yeah, they put the mask over to cover my face.
That's why I do a podcast. I have a face for radio, so. But so you were actually part of that as Ghost in Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a little known secret that we've kind of no, it's been, I don't, we don't advertise it. We did that for season 4 and so that was really cool. I still have the whole original outfit and everything mock up on a mannequin on my set, in my office and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But I did all that stuff. And then there's a voice actor a British guy, because obviously I'm still working on my British accent, so it's not that.
Give it a shot. Let's hear it.
On episode 2, maybe.
Right? Yeah. No, we're definitely going to have you guys back. There's a lot of ground to cover with you guys, and I think with all the projects you guys have ongoing, and love that you support the charities and the rescue dogs. I know you mentioned a lot of the rescues that you support. 2 of my 3 and on the 3 dogs are from Beauties and Beasts, and Lolo the third was from the Kansas Humane Society. So, folks, if you haven't gone out and looked for, don't shop, go adopt, go to a rescue. You're going to find a great dog, and Rexy's living proof of what can happen. Bless you. I think it's getting a little deep in here. Rex is allergic to it. And but I really appreciate you guys taking the time over the holiday break here to come in the studio with us and chat for what's going to be episode 1. I couldn't think of anything better than to have you guys be a part of episode 1 as we launch 3 Dogs and a Dude. And hopefully you guys will go check out Call of Duty Rex on Instagram and TikTok, and Jammer Actual on Instagram as well. And appreciate you being in, brother.
Yeah, man. If I can hop in here just really quick and give a couple shouts out.
Definitely.
We were talking about like these causes and stuff that that we like to kind of pay it forward to. I was actually met with somebody today that's kind of had some hard times falling on them with they've got a Malinois that is a rescue as well. And she works with a horse rescue, but her Malinois on the day after Christmas fell really ill. And unfortunately, she got hit with like thousands and thousands of dollars of vet bills. So I think right now the total's at like $6,000 in climbing. And, I talked to her today, and she was just, like one of us would be, if something happened to this guy just tragically today. So, I've teamed up with our biggest sponsor, Honest Pets, and what they're doing right now. And you can go to our page; there'll be links there. And but there's a GoFundMe. What they're offering is, for anyone that donates to this GoFundMe, screenshot your donation, send it to Honest Pets, and they're going to give out a gift card to you. Send out a gift card for Honest Pets in that match that dollar amount. So, in other words, you donate $25 to this GoFundMe, you'll get a gift card to Honest Pets that you can use towards dog food, awesome dog toys. Rex gets a ton of his dog treats, these Nala dog treats, dog toys, and stuff like that. So, huge shout out to those guys for stepping up on that. That's epic. And this lady, she's going through some hard times with that dog. So we're gonna fight tooth and nail to help offset the cost of that. Also, shout out to Black Rifle Coffee for always being there for us. 9 Line Apparel, F1 Firearms, PSE Archery, Ray Allen, and Ray Allen K9. All these you can see on our beacons, on our bios and stuff. So.
And we'll throw all that up on the screen on the YouTube version of this, so you guys can see all those different sponsors that support Rex and Jammer. And definitely, if you've got a few dollars extra right now, jump on the GoFundMe and help her out and help that dog out. That's something near and dear to both of us. And the 3 dogs that were the inspiration for this show, they benefited from people who were just generous, just like that, trying to help out. So that's all we're trying to do is tell some good stories. Hopefully have some engaging guests, because the host is not much to talk about, but wants to keep bringing on cool guests to talk with and tell some good stories, and helps people out, and hopefully make somebody's day a little bit brighter. So again, appreciate you coming on, Rexy. Appreciate you. I don't want to see that finishing move. We'll save that for later. Next time, buddy. All right. That's all we've got right now, guys. Everybody, peace out.
Thanks.
1, 2, 3.
Thanks for listening to this episode of 3 Dogs and a Dude. Make sure you subscribe to 3 Dogs and a Dude at your favorite podcast outlet. Search 3 Dogs and a Dude, number 3 Dogs and a Dude at your favorite podcast outlet, and give us a follow. You can also find us on the web at 3dogdude.com. That's number 3, dogdude.com. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, for the 3 dogs, this is their dudes signing off.
Hip hop.